Modern war isn't won by whoever has the coolest toys, though they certainly help. Warfare is more about processes. If your processes are faster, more redundant, and better integrated than the enemy's, you win. Period. End of story. Everything else is just expensive fireworks. Let's get into how modern warfare actually works, so you can flex on your friends who obsess over which countries have the best tanks. Let's get the basics straight. War happens at 3 levels, and if you don't understand how they connect, you don't understand war. Strategic is the national level stuff. What are we trying to achieve? How do we mobilize the country? Who are our allies? What's the end state? This is where politicians decide whether we're defending Taiwan or just strongly wording a letter. Operational is the theater campaign. How do we sequence forces, phase operations, and set conditions for tactical success? Think Schwarzkopf planning Desert Storm's left hook, or how Ukraine shaped the battlefield before their 2022 Kharkiv offensive. Tactical is where rubber meets road. Seize the bridge, kill the radar, extract the VIP. This is where a Javelin crew decides whether to engage that T-72 or let it pass. Most people only think about tactics because tactics are sexy, and we'll definitely get into that too. But tactics without operational design is just violence without purpose. Every military effect starts with the kill chain. Detect, identify, track, decide, engage, assess. 6 nodes. Each one is a function, not a single piece of hardware. Your success metric is sensor-to-shooter latency, plus confidence of identification, plus probability of desired effect. In Nagorno-Karabakh 2020, Azerbaijan's TB2 Bayraktars compressed this chain to minutes. Detect Armenian air defense with the drone's sensors. Identify it via real-time video link. Track it while loitering. Commander decides via data link. Bayraktar engages with MAM-L munition. Battle damage assessment happens immediately. Armenia's kill chain? Glacial by comparison, and unfortunately they got obliterated. If any node is slow, noisy, or missing, the whole thing collapses, which is exactly why redundancy matters. A kill chain is good. A kill web is better. A kill web is multiple overlapping kill chains across all domains: space, air, cyber, sea, land, that cross-queue each other. Here's how it works. Space-based infrared spots a missile launch. AWACS radar refines the track. SIGINT picks up enemy communications confirming the battery location. An F-35 uses that data to cue a JASSM strike. Meanwhile, electronic warfare platforms jam the enemy's early warning radars so they can't see the missile coming. The advantage? Graceful degradation. Lose one sensor, the web still functions. Armenia in 2020 had kill chains. Singular. Azerbaijan had a kill web. Guess who won? Ukraine's use of Starlink, commercial drones, HIMARS, and NATO ISR is another example. They're stitching together a kill web from parts that weren't designed to work together, and it's still more effective than Russia's theoretically integrated systems. Modern C2 is about distributed decision-making with mission command. You delegate intent down the chain and let subordinates execute within commander's intent and ROE. Why? Because centralized command is a single point of failure. Russia and Ukraine learned this the hard way when their generals kept getting smoked because they had to move forward to get cell reception. Centralized C2+ degraded comms equals dead generals and paralyzed units. Effective C2 needs survivable, redundant nodes with low-latency data pipelines, ISR feeds, common operational picture, secure communications. The US uses Link 16 to network everything from F-35s to Patriot batteries to AWACS to ships. It's not perfect, but it creates a shared picture that lets commanders make decisions in minutes instead of hours. Here's the dirty secret. Latency and trust matter more than perfect information. A decision made with 70% confidence in 3 minutes beats a decision made with 90% confidence in 30 minutes because the enemy just moved. You know what kills more offensives than enemy fire? Running out of gas, parts, and ammunition. Operational tempo has to be matched by logistical throughput. Russia's 2022 invasion failed not because Ukrainian forces were superhuman, but because Russian logistics were garbage. 40-mile-long convoy outside Kiev? That's not combat power. That's a traffic jam waiting to get Bayraktar'd. Modern logistics means prepositioned stocks, dispersed depots, repair-in-place capability, and redundant supply routes. The U.S. prepositions equipment in Poland, Romania, and the Baltics specifically, so it can surge forces without waiting for ships. China is building dual-use civilian ports across the Pacific for the same reason. Resilience isn't sexy, but it's survival. Offensives follow a sequence, and if you skip steps, you fail. Shape. Use ISR, cyber ops, deception, and interdiction to create windows of opportunity. Before Desert Storm's air campaign kicked off, F-117 Nighthawks hit Iraqi air defense nodes and command centers to blind Saddam's forces. Fix. Prevent the enemy from withdrawing or repositioning. Use fires, blocking forces, or deception to hold them in place. In Ukraine, HIMARS strikes on Russian ammunition depots and command posts fixed Russian forces by degrading their ability to maneuver. Strike. Synchronized multi-domain attacks. Seed or deed missions suppress air defenses. Long-range fires hit high-value targets. SOF conducts direct action. Israel's operations against Iranian assets in Syria follow this playbook. F-35s penetrate air defenses, hit targets, and egress before anyone can respond. Exploit. Rapid maneuver into gaps created by the strike. Reallocate forces, maintain tempo. Don't let the enemy recover. This is where Ukraine's 2022 Kharkiv offensive excelled. They punched through, then poured forces into the gap before Russia could react. Consolidate. Secure gains, integrate local forces, prepare for counterattack. This is where the US failed in Iraq. We won the battles, then lost the consolidation phase. Key point: volume without sequencing is just noise. One big strike without exploitation and logistics is a fireworks show, not an operation. Defense isn't passive. It's about shaping the attacker's tempo and forcing costly decisions. Detection. Outer sensors extend your picture. Satellites, UAVs, early warning radars like the AN/TPS-80G/ATOR give you time to react. Delay, disrupt. Mines, obstacles, long-range fires slow the attacker. Ukraine's use of DPICM artillery and remote mining systems channeled Russian advances into kill zones. Integrated air defense systems, like Patriot, IRIST, and NASAMS, prevent the enemy from achieving air superiority. Israel's Iron Dome intercepts Hamas rockets. Ukraine's air defenses forced Russia to expend hundreds of cruise missiles for marginal gains. Focused fires and mobile reserves reduce enemy combat power. Javelin and NLAW missiles turned Russian armor into scrap. Use reserves to restore the front or cut off attacker logistics. The side that can counterattack owns the tempo. Defense wins by making offense too expensive to sustain. A raid is limited objective, short duration, high tempo. Insert, isolate, secure/destroy/collect, extract. Neptune's Spear, the Bin Laden raid, is the textbook example. 2 modified Black Hawks, SEAL Team 6, in and out in under 40 minutes. The Israeli raid on Entebbe in 1976? Same concept. Fly in, rescue hostages, fly out before Uganda could respond. An attack aims to seize and hold terrain or destroy enemy forces. It requires sustainment, consolidation, and follow-on forces. The key distinction: raids are effects-focused, attacks are attrition and possession-focused. Confuse the two and you get the Bay of Pigs. For a raid, your kill chain is compressed. Local ISR like quadcopter drones, immediate shooters like SOF teams, overwatch for extraction. Latency target, seconds to low minutes. For major attacks, you're synchronizing multiple kill chains across phases. Strategic fires might take minutes to hours. Point defenses need seconds. The 2003 invasion of Iraq used space-based ISR, airborne C2, and precision weapons to create kill chains at every echelon simultaneously. In a hypothetical Taiwan scenario, the US would need kill chains operating at multiple speeds. SM-6 missiles engaging Chinese anti-ship ballistics in seconds, B-21s striking air defenses in hours, submarines interdicting supply lines over days. Design your missions so each phase has its own kill chain, with handoffs and backups. EW and cyber are force multipliers and force dividers. They blind sensors, corrupt C2, spoof targeting, and deny communications. Russia uses electronic warfare systems like Krasuka-4 to jam GPS and communications. Ukraine counters with frequency-hopping radios and Starlink, which is harder to jam. Israel reportedly used cyber attacks to disable Syrian air defenses before airstrikes. In a US-China conflict, expect massive cyber and EW operations, jamming GPS to degrade precision weapons, spoofing tracks in the common operational picture, corrupting logistics databases. Defenses include frequency agility, optical backups, robust authentication, and human redundancy. The side that wins the electromagnetic spectrum wins the war. Fires are direct and indirect kinetic effects. Missiles, artillery, airstrikes. Non-kinetic fires are cyber, EW, information operations. Effects-first planning means sometimes a denial achieves the same operational effect as a kinetic strike, but with different risk and cost. Jamming an enemy radar might be better than bombing it if you want to preserve the ability to exploit it later. Prioritize target nodes, enemy C2, logistics hubs, ISR assets, air defenses. Destroying the right node cascades effects. When Azerbaijan struck Armenian air defense radars in 2020, it opened the airspace for TB2s to operate freely. One node. Massive cascading effect. Tempo is everything. The side that cycles through, observe, orient, decide, act faster with good assessments wins, build loops. Sensor to human/AI, fusion to commander, intent to shooter to assessment to retask ISR. The faster you loop, the more inside the enemy's decision cycle you get. Ukraine has consistently demonstrated faster tempo than Russia. They spot Russian logistics with commercial drones, task HIMARS via secure chat, strike within minutes, assess via satellite, and retask. Russia's centralized command means their loop takes hours or days. Adaptation requires decentralized authority, quick reassessment, and permissive ROE for tactical commanders. Trust your people or lose to those who do. War is friction. Degraded comms, political constraints, weather, limited ammo, sensor saturation, fog of war, all of it conspires to break your perfect plan. Common failure modes. Single point C2 loss, supply collapse, hub-and-spoke logistics that create choke points, over-centralized decision-making, trust failures between services or domains. Russia's invasion showcased nearly all of these. Centralized command plus secure comms failures meant units couldn't coordinate. Hub-and-spoke logistics created massive convoys that got ambushed. Lack of trust between air and ground forces meant no effective combined arms. Mitigations. Redundant comms, mission-type orders, cross-domain liaisons, pre-planned logistics corridors, and shock/repair teams to fix nodes under fire. Modern war is about integration, not toys. Win the processes, kill webs, logistics, tempo, and the weapons matter less than how you use them. Favor redundancy, short sensor-to-shooter loops at the tactical edge, and decentralized decision-making that understands operational aims. Raids are for speed and effects. Attacks are for attrition and holding ground. Defense layers to force tempo and bleed the attacker. EW and cyber are force multipliers. Protect your data pipes like your life depends on it. The side that understands this wins. The side that's still arguing about whether the F-35 or Su-57 is cooler loses, then wonders why.